Hey guys, I went to a card show today and pretty excited about uh, being able to do that. I haven't been to one since Strongsville, so I, I kind of hate to spread them out that far, to be quite honest with you. But anyway, I thought I'd show you what I got. I got some new cards for my binder, including one of them that's a little bit bigger than some others that I'm excited about showing you. Though there's a small problem, which I'll have to explain. But anyway. Uh, just a few, well, quite a few smaller cards, but just some stuff I was excited to show you. Let's start with this. This is an interesting one. Um, I don't collect Ken Griffey. I really don't even collect Ken Griffey Jr. But I saw this in this box, and I was like, man, doesn't he look like Ken Griffey Jr.? I mean, like, you can see the resemblance in some pictures, but man, I could have sworn, like I've seen cards of Ken Griffey Jr. where he looks just like that, and I looked and I didn't have anything look quite like that, but I did find one of his cards that I had that's him in when he played for Cincinnati, wearing of course the same number, and you can kind of see. I don't know how well it'll show up there, but my goodness, he just looks like his dad more than I guess I thought that he would have, or in this case, he looks like his son. But anyway, plus it's a 75 set, so who can turn that down? Last week when I showed my Wade Boggs off, I mentioned that I was missing the 90, and found it, so that was good. Guy had a bunch of these smaller cards. If you're a Pirates fan, or maybe even not, the Rubber Band Man, Kent Kovle. What a fantastic pitcher he was. Love watching highlights of him, especially stuff that comes up during the 79 World Series. Some of his pitching there was just extraordinary. Picked up another Pirate, although not a Pirate for very long, Louis Tiant. When I'd done some research on Tiant, I found out that he played for the Pirates just 1 year. Of course, he spent most of his career in Indians, Red Sox. But toward the end of his career, didn't play all that well. Wasn't the star that he had been before that. But man, I said I want to pick a Louis Tiant up that was in Pirates gear, and I found it. What a great looking card. Speaking of Pirates, there aren't always Pirates. How about Bob Walk? Probably you won't know him if you're not a Pirates fan. That's all right. Maybe you will. But didn't play for the Pirates, obviously, at this point, but ended up playing for them later. Picked up an 86 Robin Yount. It's one of his cards I didn't have. So obviously just trying to pick up some of these guys as I can. That you find them in these value boxes at these card shows, and it's just hard to resist. Got a bunch of these little ones that I picked up for next to nothing. Good Dave Parker from 84. Love those cards. Back to 86 with Dave Parker, but this time, oh, so sad. Of course, he had a pretty good run with the Reds there. Won another World Series with them. That's pretty cool. Picked up a Tony Perez. So that was a good one. Picked up a few different Rod Carews. Picked up his 84 Donruss card. Love that image. Shout out to Brent Richards. I know that's his favorite set. It's a good one. It's a good looking card. They've got a lot of nice photos in that set. Picked up Rod Carew wearing his headband on the 83 tops. Good looking card. Picked up one of his now and then as well. I like these cards. I've got a few of them already, but these kind of then and now cards. I've got one that I'll show at some point that makes me laugh whenever I see it. How about the All-Star Willie Stargell? captain. Well deserved. Gaylord Perry from 1980. I've got some later cards of his that, man, he's looking old, but not quite as old in that one. Joe Morgan, same set. Still had some cartoons on the back in 80. Got a Ricky Henderson to add to my collection. Not sure he was smiling for the camera there. Looks kind of like he's mad. Great card. Let's see. I was kind of surprised I didn't have this bench. I love this Johnny Bench card. I like seeing catchers in their gear. And for some reason, I had not picked this one up yet. And so, I was able to snag it today. He had a couple different copies of it. I picked the one I liked the best. Jim Palmer. Nice looking card. 78s are nice. Got a Fisk from the same year. Not sure what he's staring at. Got a Billy Williams. I just recently picked up my first Billy Williams, my first one for my Hall of Fame run. So this is a potential replacement if I decide to move him to a different year, 74. I have my 74 slots filled, but movement is always possible. Then I got a Cal Ripken. Early Cal Ripken. Another one from the 84 top set. In the batting cages. Picked up a couple of 60s. This one was fun. Robin Roberts. Again, Roberts is one that I already have Robin Roberts for my Hall of Fame binder, but I like to pick up extra ones of these. Just, well, first of all, it's just nice having the cards. And this guy had these in his value box, and if you picked up 5 of them, he gave them to you for $4 each. So, picked up that Robin Roberts. Picked up a Kurt Flood. Not a Hall of Famer. However, pretty important to the game of baseball. Pretty important to the players. I know you Cardinal fans out there. He is in the Cardinals Hall of Fame. But, good player. Of course, very good player. All-Star, multiple years. I think he got at least 1 Gold Glove. Anyway. So, I did get some new players for my Hall of Fame binder. I'm pretty excited about that. I got 4 new players. I'll start with the newest one. That is CC Sabathia. It's kind of funny, the players you don't think you're going to struggle with. And I've gone to shops and gone to shows and dug through boxes and finally found this one today. Actually, my son found it for me. I said, go over and look at you, see if you can find some CC Sabathias. And he dug through a couple of different tables and found that one for me. Now, I should have pulled it out. I showed some Fergie Jenkins a couple weeks ago, and I talked about Fergie Jenkins being part of the good grief, now my brain's gone blank. The Black Aces. There we go. He was part of the Black Aces, which are the African American pitchers who have won more than 20 games in a career. And when Sabathia started to pitch well, some of those members, the founding members, Fergie Jenkins was one of the founding members, they came up to him and told him he had potential to join the Black Aces and talked to him about the importance of that, and he eventually did. I meant to look up before I started this video, but this is an 06. I don't know if this is the year he did it. He didn't prior to this. His high was 17 and 01. So I don't know if this was the year, but he did eventually. He has one season with over 20 wins, and really felt like that was important after he'd been kind of talked to about it by some of the other aces. A little bit older, 65. It's a Don Drysdale. People on the YouTubes have been talking a lot lately about conditions and how we talk down our cards. I'm not going to talk down this one. It's in pretty rough shape, but I didn't have a Don Drysdale, and at least not a solo card, and it was something I was excited to be able to pick up. Actually, it's funny, somebody else, I can't remember who it was now, just picked up one of these. Maybe Rob, Cash Cards? I don't remember. I did not have an Orlando Cepeda Topps base card, and I picked up two. Picked up his 70. This is probably the one that I'll put in my binder for now. Pretty excited about that. Picked up his 74 as well. It's a nice one. A little later in its career. I only am probably going to choose the 70 instead of the 74 because my 74 slots are all filled. Again, I could move them around a little bit. We'll probably, keep looking, see what I can find. That 70, it's a nice card. We'll just kind of have to see which one we get. Then I did pick up one big one. I've been meaning to put these up here. I guess I should do that. I could show you kind of what I got. Got the Cepedas. Got the ones at least that are going into my binder. The Don Drysdale. And the CC Sabathia. Those are going into my Hall of Fame binder project. Those are for my project. And then I had one big one. One, well, big for me. A little bit bigger than the rest. It was one I've been wanting to get. And it is Stan, let's see if I can get to focus, Stan Musial from 1960. I love that card. Love seeing his stats on the back. What a career he had. I was even talking to the guy at the show, the guy I bought this from, and we were talking about just how underrated he is as a player. I mean, like, even by this point, and he still had years to go, 400 career home runs, already over 3,000 hits. Just an incredible season. Just incredible career. So just a great looking card. And I'll tell you the problem. Some of you have already identified it. This is a binder project. And, well, my binder does not work with this. So my kids are a little horrified, but I'm going to have to break that out of there if it's going to go into my binder. Which actually leads to my second issue. I'm going to see if I can get this in here. I may have to move some cards. This is my binder. I'll show you here in just a second. Let me get these cards out of the way. And I'll show you my additional problem. I do love these 60s. I'll pull it to the front here. This is my binder. Let's see if I can zoom it out just a little bit. This is my binder. 1960, thankfully, is on the bottom row, so I'll be able to show you pretty easily. Here is 1960. I already have all three filled. I have Mazeroski, Minnie Minoso, and Ed Matthews. The Mazeroski stays. That's not one that's going to get moved. So I'm going to have to either pick up another Minnie Minoso, another Ed Matthews, or another Stan Musial. I may go with the Minoso. I'm not really sure yet. I haven't decided. Of the three cards, that's the one that has the most damage. There's a crease. You probably can't see here, but there's a crease right along here. It's not the end of the world. I love the card. I love the images on these. I happen to really like the horizontal cards. And so I like the images on this, on all of these cards. But boy, it's hard to bring these in when I don't prepare for it. But that's all right. Anyway, so... or pick up a new Stan Musial, and I'm not sure I want to pick up a new Musial. I really like this one. I had been debating over which one to get. I actually had been chatting a little bit with John over at Nerding Out with Cards, and he is a big Stan Musial fan and collector, and he was asking me which one I was going to get, and my comment was just quite simply, I'm going to get the one that I land on that kind of works for me. And well, this was the one I found today, and I love the 60. There are some other years of his that I really like as well, and so I could potentially replace it, I suppose, at some point, but so I can't officially cross it off my list until I break it out, and then I either replace one of the other players or add them to my list. That's kind of the frustration, a little bit of a frustration with that, just on my part, but if I'm frustrated about buying a Stan Musial, I guess we're going to call that first world problems. Anyway. So those are my Hall of Fame binder pickups for this show. Don Drysdale, CC Sabathia, couple of Orlando Cepedas, and of course the big one for me anyway, Stan the Man Musial. Well, that's all I've got for you today. Thanks if you've made it this long. Thanks for watching. I had a good time with the show with my boys and picking up a bunch of cards, just enjoying that time with them and enjoying digging through boxes. Lots of value boxes there today. Weren't many tables, but it was smaller even than usual. Probably just, I don't know, 10 dealers or so. But it was a good show. Good to just kind of dig through those, and I look forward to going to my next one. So if you watch this long, thanks a lot. Appreciate it, and we'll see you down the road.